Hope you're having a nice day. I'm G, aka Mike G, and I'm back with another reaction video. Now today we're gonna be watching Tommy G. We'll be watching Tommy G walking the drug infested slums of Baltimore. Now I seen this video like 22 hours after he posted it. I'm not subscribed to him, but I was like, I want to watch this video. I was about to watch the video right when I seen it, cause I was on my lunch break when I seen it, like yesterday. But I was like, nah, I want to react to this because I want to actually see how how it really is in his perspective. But let's get right into it. Do not try this at home. Okay.
I've been held at gunpoint and raped in an alley. I've been held hostage 3 times.
This floor actually could just crack in.
Wait.
Well, folks, today we're looking into the drug epidemic that is...
Wait. My first question is, why is he going into abandoned homes knowing they could just crack and break at any moment? Like, that is extremely dangerous. Don't do that. Don't do that.
absolutely horrific and just infiltrating cities all around America.
All my veins have collapsed or they don't work.
Today we're boots on the ground in
All his
Baltimore,
veins
where we're
collapse
surrounded
or they
by
don't
dirty
work.
mattresses, needles, human feces, and just human despair.
Till you see a limp body whose life ends with a gun.
We're here to give people stories and also explore how we can make this better. This is a massive problem in America, something that we need to look into, need to figure out how to change, and we're here firsthand to explore and give you the story. Today, folks, we're going boots on the ground in Baltimore, getting an insight.
Tommy G, if you're saying this, Baltimore, not Balt, the way you say it, not Baltimore, Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. You got it.
Look into the drug epidemic that's running its way through the city. We go into trap houses that are full of paraphernalia. We
That's
explore
not a
the
trap
drug
house.
called Trank, which is ripping apart the city.
Turning people into what some are calling living zombies.
We're aided by our friend Nick, who has dedicated his life to helping people become sober.
I can refer you all over to the city and state.
We're also joined by YouTube journalist and my friend Brandon Buckingham, known for covering stories like the Juggalos, O-Block, the Capitol 6th riots, and much, much more. This guy is one of YouTube's best journalists. So now we go boots and...
I be seeing like junkies leaning and all that here and there. I don't see them like that. I guess that's because I don't really be around those parts. But when I do be seeing them, they do be crazy. Like the other day I seen one bent over, and the other day I seen one going crazy, and then the other day I seen one stretched out on the in the grass. Like, it is crazy.
Brown with Brandon and Nick. This is the stuff that mainstream media won't show you, but we will. Viewer discretion is advised.
Mine ain't in Baltimore. That's downtown. That's downtown
We're
area
pulling
right
into
there.
West Baltimore today, the second most dangerous city in America. And right now the city is in a state of emergency due to a drug epidemic. They're mixing fentanyl with xylazine, which is an animal tranquilizer. Putting it together, it's kind of the Kensington zombie effect. Their attorney general is petitioning to make it a state of emergency. There's dozens of news articles about it. It is really affecting the city. And today we're meeting up with a local
Call it
contact
zombie
that is
drug.
dedicating his life to helping people in these situations. We'll see you on the streets. So we're investigating Trank today. Have you heard of that?
Of course, tranquilizer. That's been going on for years. It's nothing.
Really?
New. Just a different name.
And is it really flooding into the city right now?
The downtown Baltimore area might be more prevalent.
It's more prevalent in East or West Baltimore.
West.
If you were mayor, what would you do to help this issue?
If he was mad, he couldn't do nothing to help it. Literally, couldn't do nothing to help it.
We'll probably try to clean up the Lexington Market area. That's pretty much the hub of the drug trade downtown.
Are you trying to incarcerate people? Did you give them other opportunities? Or how do you...
If you incarcerate him, it's only going to be worse. It's drugs in jail too. You can't do nothing to stop this man.
Communities, drug treatment, things of that nature.
Can't give him drug treatment because they already too far gone, and it's really going to kill him at that point. And I mean, I guess you could kill him, but that's really, what's that really doing?
Nicholas Johns. I'm an outreach specialist. What I do basically is street interventions in places like West Baltimore, Philadelphia.
Now he say it right. He say West Baltimore. He say it right.
I go into the streets and approach people that are in
Tommy G
active
gotta get it
addiction or
right.
states of homelessness and offer them an immediate route to remedy where their life is at.
What is the drug primarily that's ripping apart the city right now?
It's fentanyl. You know, before it's fentanyl, it's heroin.
So do you ever get nervous before you go and do this stuff?
Honestly, no. We're going into an impoverished area where
Honestly,
gun violence
no.
is prevalent, you know, and there's a lot of drugs. I'm known in these areas, and also if anybody with us, like, y'all really don't need to worry about anything.
How many people like you are out doing what you're doing?
In Baltimore, it's me, just me.
What makes what you do unique?
I just get really strong numbers in regards to the amount of people that I actually place from the streets directly into treatment facilities on a given day.
How do people get into these positions?
People are born into this as an environment, in which case you got pretty much every angle of life stacked against you. You got generational poverty, institutionalized racism, cyclical devolution from drugs in your community. You got the other way out, which is trying.
That is very much true. And it's also like a lot of them are like military veterans that come home and they already on medication, and it's like they stuck with nothing, and all they got is their medication. They just stuck on the street, and they just keep going back to their medication, and then they eventually just end up in the streets. And then, you know, however they get their drugs, and boom, it's just like that. A lot of them, they just innocent, but they mentally unstable.
Procure money through the drugs in your community, and you have the violence that goes alongside all of that.
Where is this stuff coming from? Is it Mexico? Is it China?
The analog for fentanyl is largely being produced within China and also Mexico. Xylazine is, you know, that's like a veterinarian drug used to sedate animals.
The average citizen, you're seeing an abandoned building, but to someone who could be battling opioid addiction right now, they see a place for shelter, a place to use substances safely, and they actually will sleep and live in a lot of these buildings.
So this is the first room we walked into, and already right away, needles. Imagine it's a spoon for heroin, or?
Yeah, so that's like a cooker. Somebody would use that to cook up whatever substances they were
They just invade these people's privacy.
injecting. That's actually the same thing. That's also a cooker. Needles right there. You got the cigarette butt, but then you got the needle end cap right there.
Do people sleep in here?
I doubt it. People definitely get down right here. Right there's another cooker. So we're at 3 cookers. This actually probably isn't even that frequent of a spot.
Try and imagine living in an area where this is happening next to your house. You got dilapidation, it's infested with drugs and litter. And imagine being a kid growing up, seeing this every day when you walk to the bus to school, every day when you go to the...
Bro, I was a kid saying this. I didn't understand at first, but growing up, I used to make fun of them a little bit until I realized, like, some of these people, like, they don't do this to do this, meaning like they doing this to try to help themselves, but they don't know that they not helping themselves. They just mentally unstable. But me growing up as a child, I seen this. I grew a little bit of sympathy for them growing up and all that. But some people, it's just too late to help, and it's like, I don't know. I don't really know what to do.
corner store. What it might
Good
do to
thing
your
I don't
psyche.
got
I
that.
wanted to ask,
Good
coming
thing I'm
into
not-
places like this, they provide protection from police, right? A safe place to get high and not have to worry about the cops arresting you.
Police in Baltimore really aren't preoccupied with people getting high unless it's people getting high in very like upper class areas. Otherwise, you know, they're worried about gunshots here. They're worried about murders here. That right there.
A lot of our murders don't even get solved. So, they.
For smoking crack.
Should we play a game, what's in the suitcase? I'm guessing feces or a used condom.
I'm guessing nothing, but it's a damn nice looking suitcase.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got.
Okay. Advanced plastic sheeting. A rechargeable arcade card.
Wow,
I'll be honest, this is what I was in it for. I've got what
Yeah,
I
that was
need.
something else.
I'm gonna go hit Dave and Buster's. Appreciate your time.
That's it.
Just one step outside of this abandoned building, I stepped directly on this needle.
They probably use that card to like, if they do got like some coke or something, to like, yeah.
Hit him in the brush, exposed needle.
separated type. Try to mute it, but it wasn't mute.
It seems like the classic, the telltale sign of this prank stuff is the zombie kind of.
I mean, when people are that nodded out, you know what I'm saying? They're incapacitated. It's just a perpetual state of unconsciousness. Yo! Syringe bags right there.
We're just walking to an abandoned building after abandoned building, and they are just, it looks like a war happened here. I mean, don't get me wrong, America has so much beauty in it. Some of the greatest wealth the world has ever seen. But on the flip side, some of the highest amount of human despair. If you were mayor, what would you do to make this place a little safer or better for people?
Definitely put more food stores up.
Is there not enough places for people to
She's a user. That's her story.
food and shelter?
No, there's no like outreach programs, nothing like that.
How would you describe this area to people?
There's a lot of abandonments, so everybody has a place.
See, what the type vibe I get from her, she probably was someplace, and like she was like put into that situation that she in now, getting high and all that, and now Tommy G coming to her, and she just speaking out and saying like what she would want, basically.
Live,
Do you
but
call it abandonments?
She want a place to live.
How do you survive out here?
I do date.
What's the most common drugs to be found around?
So what else I'm getting? She was a
here?
Heroin and crack.
How'd you get to
And I'm my fault for pausing, but I've been saying a lot of recently, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I seen 2 of them on my way home today. It's crazy.
Everybody that ends up here gets stranded here. We came to cop. We got caught because it's like a fast life. So
Yeah.
and it's everybody gets stuck like this.
So do you feel stuck right now?
Almost.
How much money do I need to find drugs around here?
I don't know. It's if you can find them. I mean, not everybody's friendly.
Do you know anyone that has passed away from an overdose?
I don't know anybody. It's common.
Is it dangerous being a woman out here?
100%. I've been raped in alleys. I've been held at gunpoint and raped in alleys. I've been held at gunpoint and raped by a child in alley. I've been held hostage 3 times.
Do you ever call the police?
No.
Do the police help?
They will if you call them, but nobody ever calls.
That's crazy.
How did we get here?
You know, the drug epidemic is one thing. That has started back in the 70s. It has progressed to what it is now. Now we have a lot of carjackings, crime, murders, and killings. In my early 20s, a lot of stuff that's going on now, I didn't have to deal with. It's now just me out here doing what I have to do to survive. And then you have a bunch of people with no opportunity. They're going to do what they know how to do.
What we are about to
He's
do
a
is
mechanic.
walk into the trap houses. There could be junkies, there could be needles, there could be who knows what around the corner. We're walking into these buildings and seeing what we find.
He's in here, see all by the ground. It works. I'm sure we go upstairs. Like,
Work is slain for the paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Do you think this is someone's spot?
They had a pot.
Now, Tommy G said this is a trap house. I don't consider this a trap house. My definition of a trap house is a stable house with many trappers or maybe just one trapper, and they got a bunch of, and they selling it out that house. I don't consider this a trap house. If y'all do, hey, maybe we got different definitions of trap houses, but this ain't my definition of a trap house.
Going in here.
There'll be a painting of children on the wall in this dilapidated building. It's hard to imagine a child living in a place like this.
Look, this floor actually could just crack in. I'd be hella careful. That floor could legit fall.
That tub is disgusting.
Is it scary living here?
I'm not personally scared, no. Some people are. There's a lot of drug dealing, rivalries.
She got
If you were
a
mayor,
meter.
what would you do to make the drug issue be better?
If the dealer's in jail longer, they're not staying in jail long enough. Say, look,
How is she saying this and she got a vape in her hand, which is considered drugs? She telling them put the dealers in the jail. I mean, she wouldn't even have what she had. Like, she ain't making no sense right now. It just don't make no sense.
Set fires inside of the house, a metal trash can or something, and it gotten out of hand and caught on fire. Several burnt down. They've found bodies in there when they're burnt, after they're put out. They need to just tear them down.
What's going through your head right now?
I was chilling, having a good day with y'all.
This is a normal day in the life of Nick, right?
Yeah, this is pretty standard operating procedures, but I'm having a good day.
I've known about this stuff for a while, and I've known like a lot of people I grew up with would come down here to buy drugs, but actually being on the inside behind the boarded up windows, it's pretty fascinating to see the conditions that people live in,
Like, it's easy to watch a TV show about it or read a book about it, but when you actually are walking through the needles, walking through the dilapidated buildings, and talking to people that you can just tell are in a very tough spot. I mean,
when you look at these living conditions, it kind of gives you a good understanding of how this drug affects you. If you're willing to live amongst the trash and the filth and whatnot, like obviously it has a really, really strong hold on these people, and it's not as easy as just stop.
Sometimes I feel like people potentially feel like they're happier sitting by the fire where they're at versus trying to climb up or down a level. But one thing, point that I'll give kudos to Baltimore on, of all cities I've worked in, they have such an immediate ease of access to treatment here, 24/7, multiple places that you can just show up, have no ID, have no insurance, and by the end of the day, you're going to be enrolled in an inpatient treatment facility with a rent-free place to live, 6 to 9 months. You're going to have full case management services. They help you to get things like TDAP, food stamps, birth certificate, social security card, ID, job placement. So there definitely are organizations here that are ready and willing to help people build back their lives up from the chaos and the death that this is out here.
Let me take a breather and chat a bit about something that's become like my right hand. It's always there.
That is true. That is very much true.
It's sort of a platform.
How bad is the opioid epidemic here in Baltimore?
It's terrible. My daughter, old man put me out.
Still,
that turns me back onto the streets.
Coping with life on the streets isn't easy.
No, it's not. My life is too precious to be out here doing the opium and all that bullshit. It's too much. Look at all these abandoned houses. A whole block ain't nothing on the streets. They need to build these houses back up, put people back into society again.
What are some things you think could be done to help curb the opioid epidemic, lessen the damage it's doing to society?
Stop it, like y'all doing.
Raising awareness?
Yes. Like the police raiding all these spots now. That's a good thing, too.
Breaking up the people that are living in the abandoned buildings?
Yeah.
Is this something you see yourself dedicating your life to?
Yeah, I already have, bro. Just really the next step is going to be launching the nonprofit in regards to teaching other people the methodology of outreach that I employ on a daily basis. I really just want to positively influence the macrocosm of mankind.
Here's a GoFundMe in the description that's helping him grow his nonprofit, scale his nonprofit. I'm gonna put my own money up for it, and I hope you do as well. Let's see if we can move something, guys. The power of the internet to change people's lives is a beautiful thing. There's a huge drug issue. What is your commentary on that?
The reason I came out here was because I'm an addict. I'm originally from Carroll County, so it was easier to obtain drugs at a cheaper price. I was in treatment. I was living out Frederick at a place called Solid Ground. I was actually 2 years clean. I relapsed, so I came out here with the expectation to continue using.
How long ago was that you relapsed?
This was exactly April last year.
Damn, man.
I shoot up, right?
Yeah.
The only place I can actually go is in my neck. All my veins basically have collapsed or they don't work. When I attempted to inject any kind of drug, what happens is it won't pull the blood. It'll be like a miss. You can see that right there. That's from a miss. Now, anybody that's using kids at home, don't do drugs. It's been the biggest mistake of my life.
Does it feel like a hole that's almost impossible to get out of?
Oh, definitely. They're trying to mask some kind of pain that they're bearing. For me, it was losing my 2 children. I got 2 kids that got adopted. I lost them about 7 years ago. I signed off my parental rights so they'd have a good life. And I'm glad I did because I ended up going to jail for 2 years. So had I not, I would have pretty much not been there for them regardless. I am homeless technically. I've been staying with a friend in Pigtown. My friend Chris gets 100% disability. We got a nice 3-story townhouse.
So you have a nice place to sleep at, but by day you come here, you panhandle, and you get your fix.
Pretty much.
I see you have different things on your skin. Is that from using?
These are scars right here, but right here, That's from using drugs.
How much money do you need a day to survive?
I have a $12 a day habit.
How many people in your family are also?
Y'all hear that? $12 a day, and he get his daily fix. That is crazy. Only $12 a day to get a daily fix.
Some drug issues.
Well, my father, he's active. Older of my two sisters. My youngest sister's never done drugs or alcohol.
How old were you when you tried your first drug?
I was 15 years old. Well, I did pot with a friend, and then my second drug was cocaine.
How many times a day do you use?
Twice. I use right when I wake up in the morning. Usually I'll save something from the night previous. When you use, you stop feeling the euphoria from it, but you'll still get the call, meaning like you'll still feel that warm sensation, and it's just a temporary cushion of comfortability. Even though it does go away, your problems are still there after the drugs are gone. It's kind of like a no-brainer though. I pay money to myself. It doesn't even fucking make sense. If anybody hears this and I can help you in any way, I can tell you I've had
basically what he's saying, he just pay for the drug. He just pay for the drug just to feel that accountability and for his problems to just go away for that however long. But he know he killing himself. And he has a problem with it, but he don't at the same time. So it's just like, it really doesn't matter.
4 hospitalizations in the past year. One was 2 weeks, the other one was a 10-day stretch, and then a week. Drugs are not worth it.
We got some of your poetry here. Do you mind if I read some of it, or do you want to read it?
High and get stuck like elf on the shelf. Now you're a fiend shooting dope and killing on yourself. Your brain starts to change and soon starts to corrode. Your age is still young while your body and soul feels old.
There's too many of us struggling in these streets. This sickness out here is a crippling disease. The junkies out here, parents, kids, and friends, this vicious cycle we live never seems to end. That's powerful, man. What is it like living here?
It's crazy. I was actually born in Germany. I was an army brat, so I've lived in like 7, 8 different states. My parents actually live on a golf course. After college, I kind of, did some stuff on my own, and me and my girlfriend wound up here. We've been here for like 2 years. We lived in like 5 different houses, and every house we seem to move in, the owners come and, end up kicking us out. But we actually found this really...
Are you squatting?
Crazy.
Yeah.
And how hard is that to do around here?
We actually talked to the person who owns this, and we keep it pretty clean. So he said as long as we continue to keep it clean and we're not causing any trouble with the neighbors, he doesn't mind, because of course if we move out, you don't know who the hell's going to move in.
What are the houses like around here?
You get what you see. They're run down. A lot of them, no water, no electricity. Bathrooms are terrible, but for the most part, we can shower, use water to eat, wash our hands and stuff.
What do you make of all the drug abuse that's happening around us?
There's a lot of different reasons why people get hooked on drugs. Most people like to think that, people are doing it just to cover something up or feel better about a past. Started out doing drugs just because I like to get high, I was a former athlete, partied a lot. And one thing led to another, and now I'm out here. It's crazy how it doesn't discriminate, though. I mean, I met a guy out here, he owns his own restaurant, but he gets high like I do.
What's the drug of choice around here?
Cocaine. It's gone from heroin to fentanyl to now the new things like xylazine, I think is how you pronounce it.
That's the tranquilizer, right?
Yeah, it's like a horse tranquilizer.
It doesn't look fun at all to do.
I'm not gonna lie, I do it, but it's not something I'm hooked on. I did my dope. I went through my dope phase for a while. I went to rehab actually last year.
What's your hope for the future?
This is just a phase for me and my girl. We actually have plans to get out of here. I did pest control for 8 years, and I have 2 of my pesticide license, so I just need 1 more.
I think you'd be booming in business around here.
Absolutely.
You're a poet too?
I am.
Did you grow up in Baltimore?
No, I did not. I grew up on the Maryland-West Virginia state line. Like this interaction right here never happened. I couldn't go to the grocery store. I'd go grab a gallon of milk after sitting in the parking lot for like 30 minutes. Finally go in, grab some milk, the register. All I would say was like, thank you. I can't breathe. I'm sweating.
Does drugs kind of give you the blanket to feel okay in the world?
It does. I don't feel high when I do drugs. I feel what everyone considers to be normal. I've been doing this since I was 18, so a solid almost 11 years.
It's crazy to see what
drug... Whoa. 18 plus 11. Okay. She do look pretty young. But okay.
I've been doing this since I was 18. So a solid almost 11 years.
It's crazy to see what drug addiction does to people's lives. On one hand, you have a couple here writing poetry, loving each other, doing the best they can. On the other hand, they're living in extreme poverty, battling addiction every day, with their focus of life centered around the drugs. So folks, this is it. We went boots on the ground, face to face with the drug epidemic here in Baltimore. This is a problem that's only growing, and we need to figure out how to address it as a people. We've seen people that had careers that are now on the street. We had people that had kids and now are on the street. And so it can happen to so many of us. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you next week.
That's that video. I honestly, in Baltimore, I honestly don't think there will ever be a clean slate of drugs. Like, it's almost impossible. Like, there's so many different people here that come from so many different backgrounds that has so many different reasons to get on drugs and get addicted to them. So it's just crazy. But hey, that's the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And out.